Not like you would even care if she was.
Mind your tongue, boy! Until our journey is over, one of us must remain focused.
Alright, it's time to tell this story one more time. Welcome to WatchMojo.com, and today we're counting down our picks for the top 10 video games with the best story. Before we begin, we publish new content every day, so be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. For this list, we're looking at what we consider to be the best stories in gaming, and updating our previous lists with new entries and a new order. These are the stories which are not only imaginative and original, but which are also told very well, complete with an intriguing plot, character development, and interesting themes.
I rejected those answers. Instead, I chose something different.
Number 10, Grim Fandango.
Híjole, I'm gonna miss the poisoning.
There's simply nothing quite like prime 90s LucasArts games. This particular title follows Manny Calavera as he tries to help Mercedes Colomar, a new arrival to the land of the dead, a purgatory-like place where souls pass through before reaching the 9th underworld. The game nicely blends aspects of Aztec and Mexican folklore with classic film noir movies, and creates a fascinating and complex world full of interesting characters, bits of lore, and beautiful locations. It also draws upon classic movies like Chinatown and Casablanca, in order to help create its atmosphere, offering up intrigue and hilarious comedy in equal measure. It's the sort of unique, genre-blending mix of storytelling that only LucasArts could pull off.
What's the matter, Chuck? Can't afford to hire goons to do this sort of work for you?
I'm all the goon I need. Now drop it!
Number 9, Red Dead Redemption.
Hello, John. John Marston.
Do I know you?
I hope so. I seem to know you.
Though they might not be so popular nowadays, westerns are pretty much always a reliable form of storytelling. The landscapes are always gorgeous, the characters complex and dirty, and the themes always relevant. Some of the greatest movies of all time are westerns, and that goes for video games as well. Or at least one video game. Red Dead Redemption received heaps of praise for its world, characters, and story, which features ex-outlaw John Marston in search of his titular redemption. Its themes are emotional, its characters are memorable and intricate, and it packs one of the most emotionally devastating endings in all of gaming. We won't quite say that it goes toe-to-toe with the greatest Western films, but it is without a doubt the greatest Western video game. Next to Custer's Revenge.
If you think I'm gonna lower myself by making a joke about being all tied up, you got another thing coming.
Number 8, Undertale. Great characters can often elevate even the most basic stories. Such is the case with Undertale, an indie game created by Toby Fox, which sees the player character falling into a region underneath the Earth's surface called the Underground, a place filled with terrifying monsters. Only, perhaps they aren't so terrifying. The game rewards multiple playthroughs, as its characters are so complex and three-dimensional that you can approach them in a variety of ways, treating them with either sympathy or confrontation. Don't let the graphics fool you either. It's a world that's also filled with detail, one that exudes both comedy and tragedy. It's unlike anything you're ever going to play. Number 7, NieR Automata.
All of you shall become as gods. All of you shall become as gods.
Highlighting what makes NieR Automata so great is kind of difficult. At its core, the story is about a proxy war between alien invaders and humans. The aliens fight with machines and the humans fight from the moon with proxy combat androids. Very different. 2 androids called 2B and 9S are sent to Earth to investigate the machines, which are beginning to mimic human life.
Together, forever. Together, forever.
It sounds pretty intriguing, I guess, but it's within the game's complex plot lines and heavy themes where the story really shines. It requires numerous playthroughs to get the full picture, and by doing so, it offers multiple perspectives on numerous plot developments. It's a totally bonkers experience, and it's the type of story you just gotta see to believe.
Why did you betray us?
Command is the one that betrayed you.
Number 6, the Mass Effect Trilogy.
We will fight, we will sacrifice, and we will find a way.
Space operas have always been a mainstay in entertainment. Science fiction novels have been around for hundreds of years, and movies like Star Wars showed us what could be possible with film and a little imagination. Mass Effect was probably the Star Wars of gaming, with a good heaping of Star Trek too. Sure, video games have told science fiction stories before, but none did it quite like Mass Effect. The series begins in 2183, where synthetic organic starships threaten the future of the galaxy. What follows is a sprawling epic, filled with imaginative worlds, impeccably integrated decision-making, and some of the most memorable characters in all of video games. It didn't quite stick the landing, but it was unlike anything in gaming.
If you shoot me, my team.
How about goodbye?
Number 5, Chrono Trigger. There was a fantastic team behind Chrono Trigger. The game was made by Hironobu Sakaguchi of Final Fantasy, Yuji Horii of Dragon Quest, and Akira Toriyama of Dragon Ball fame. In 1995, their talents combined to create Chrono Trigger, a masterpiece about a band of time-hopping heroes who attempt to, guess what, save the world. It's an extremely fun story that surprisingly doesn't get confusing, as most time-jumping stories do. And it's full of interesting characters and locations, like the Middle Ages, the prehistoric era, and a dark and dreary future. Video games are a fantastic outlet for the imagination, and very few games are as creative as Chrono Trigger. Number 4, Persona 5.
Once these two are dealt with, you're next.
Persona 5 is just a fantastic game, due in part to its brilliant combat system, but also due to its always interesting story. Said story follows a group of vigilantes called the Phantom Thieves, who infiltrate the metaverse, a place where human vices are stored, in order to reform the corrupt individuals of society. It's a hugely imaginative piece of fiction, and it works both as an intriguing fantasy story and a relatable high school drama filled with memorable characters and a lot of good writing. Like most great works of fiction, it's humane, its plot is well told, and it touches on some universal themes, which basically anyone can understand.
You're misunderstanding it all! I haven't sexually harassed anyone!
Number 3, Spec Ops: The Line.
Even now, for all you've done, you can still go home.
This is one of those come for the game, stay for the story games. If it wasn't for its highly compelling story, Spec Ops would have been forgotten a long time ago. The Line is the heart of darkness of video games, you see. You play as Martin Walker, a man sent to Dubai on a recon mission who soon grows tired of war, experiences unimaginable horror, and loses his grip on reality. The game boldly goes where few have gone before, exploring some extremely provocative themes like the binary between good and evil and the fragility of the human mind. It also features a fantastic plot twist and some of the most emotionally devastating scenes in gaming.
That hotel back at the storm wall? No, those can't be the civvies that got kidnapped. It's not possible.
Number 2, The Witcher series.
He found his wife, took her away somewhere far. Anna, she was unwell.
The Witcher games are based on Polish author Andrzej Sapkowski's works of the same name, and they take the magic present in his stories and expand upon it to create some of the most interesting stories and worlds in gaming. While The Witcher may sound like a typical fantasy romp, it is anything but. Its stories are not only exciting, but they present complex characters and situations that don't have easy answers or outcomes. The worlds that the games create are also stunning, complete with enough lore and supplementary reading to fill their own novel. When it comes to visionary storytelling, there's no beating The Witcher. Before we unveil our top pick, here are a few honorable mentions.
More of my potential. Eventually, there'll be no limit to what I can accomplish with the Force.
Oh, I've seen plenty. You grew a man's body, kind of. But down deep, you're still a scrawny little brat.
Pompidou! You f***ing killed my dog!
Oh my god!
12 shots.
Number 1, The Last of Us.
Was that everything you hoped for?
Jury's still out. But man, can't deny that view.
There is perhaps no other video game with as memorable a story as Naughty Dog's masterpiece. The game is a blend between Logan, Children of Men, and The Road, as it features a grizzled Joel as he transports the possible savior of mankind across the infection-plagued and humanity-deprived country. It's the kind of story which shows viewers that they must continue fighting even within the darkest of times, and features some of the most challenging, emotional scenarios in gaming history. It doesn't make for a light gaming experience, that's for sure though. But its timeless themes of love, determination, and sacrifice are told with horror and plenty of emotion. It simply doesn't get any better than this.
Okay.
Do you agree with our picks? Check out these other great clips from WatchMojo and subscribe for new videos every day.